Coach will open it up, and then we'll go to questions.
Okay. I think first of all, just proud of our guys with the kind of week of work and the focus that they brought into the stadium tonight, and they came ready to play. And we've been talking a lot about how much we finished the last couple weeks, and we wanted to start really well. And I think obviously defensively really set the tone. I think we had 3 sacks right there early on the first couple drives to create some really good field position. I thought our red zone defense was really incredible tonight. I think they were inside a red area 5 times and came away with 2 field goals. Offensively, it felt really good because we got back to being explosive, and it wasn't just the passing game. We got some explosive runs right off the bat with Jonathan Brooks, the long touchdown run right there. And we found different people to create explosive plays. JT, another 100-yard game with explosive plays. Jonte with a really big play on 3rd down, 3rd and long there. But I thought, Quinn was efficient. We ran the ball well. Obviously there's always room for improvement everywhere we look, and tonight happened to be on teams. We muffed 3 kicks, 2 punts and 1 kickoff. So something that, you get back to it. And those are 3 really reliable guys for us. So we just got to make sure that we continue to work. As I touched on with the players, championship teams get better during the season. And I thought we got better this week, and we got better tonight. We played better football, but we still have room for improvement for things that we need to work on and will work on. Because the games are only going to get more and more difficult as we move forward.
Questions? Go ahead, Danny, start it off.
Steve, what do you think was working there in the first half? Finally getting off to that good start that you guys have been wanting earlier?
Well, I thought, it's like anything. It's execution, part of that was having poise on the road. We were really clean at the line of scrimmage until late there when we were going to go for it on 4th down, but I thought our guys were just really poised. They were communicating really well on the field. I thought they were taking in really good information from us on the sideline, and then they were applying it on the field. And then ultimately when we had opportunities, we took advantage of it, whether it was when we blocked the run, the runners were going where they were supposed to go. When we were throwing the ball and we were creating some one-on-ones, Quinn was taking advantage of it. Obviously, again, he used his legs again tonight. So all in all, I just think early on it came down to execution and executing the plan.
Eric?
Steve, the ability to use the tight ends in the backs in multiple different ways and formations, Agbo and Heavy and Gunnar Helm out split out. How much versatility does that provide you to play ball?
Well, it's helpful. I've said all along, like, we're at our best when the more we can do really well, the tougher we are to defend. And we never want to be a one-dimensional team. We want to really be versatile on offense, whether it's the style of runs, the personnel groupings, the formations, the motions, the shifts. And I credit our coaches and I credit our players because we don't go into games with just simple game plans and simple formations. We tax our guys, and because we know it's going to tax our opponents if we execute it right. And they do a really good job in their preparation to get ready for the ball game. I felt good this morning in our walkthrough. They were really dialed into what we wanted to do. But it is helpful when you can use a multitude of personnel groupings and still formation people and do different things. Hopefully it creates some issues for our opponent, and then ultimately we can get back to doing what we do, and that's just getting down to execution.
Over here on the right, Cedric.
So you just feel very business-like this way. And what does this say about the maturity of your guys? I mean, there's a lot of maturity, a lot of extra stuff floating around, but they came in and handled it.
That's a great way of saying it. I had to remind the guys that, let's not take winning for granted. It was almost like, okay, let's get ready for Kansas. Like they do have a great mentality right now. But like I said to them in the locker room, we have a bunch of guys in that locker room that endured 5-7 a couple years ago that came into this stadium and lost a really tough ball game. And so I wanted to make sure that we appreciate these wins, going on the road in a hostile environment at night, blackout game, and our guys just showed such great composure. It was very businesslike. It was, this is what we came here to do. Let's go do it. And then, okay, the game's over. Let's get ready for next week. And I want to make sure we appreciate these wins. These are tough wins to get on the road in conference play, and to kick off conference play 1-0. That's a big deal.
Joe?
With defensive line,
Trill and Alfred, how important is it that you can have 5 deep at D line that can play?
It's huge, and like I said, we rotated a lot of guys tonight on defense again, and that's a credit to the defensive staff of getting all those guys ready. The defensive front, most notably, but shoot, whether it was David Benda played well to go along with Anthony Hill had a really good game. Derek Williams was in there, had a couple really nice third down stops. And so playing multiple people is only going to be beneficial for us, not only in game, but for the long haul. And so the fact that we can do that up front, that's huge, that our guys can be fresh when they're in there and they can make plays at critical moments.
Thomas?
Last week, Tagan didn't have a catch against Longhorns. How much of a concerted effort was there this week to get him into the game plan?
Yeah, it really, we don't think like that. It wasn't something predicated off the week before. Every game plan, every game takes on a life of its own. And, we call plays, and a lot of times the defense kind of dictates where the ball's going to go if the quarterback reads it properly. And the ball went his way today. Gunner, obviously at tight end as well. Both those guys made some nice plays for us. But the beauty of our group right now, I think they love the fact that multiple people are making plays. I think they loved it that Jonte made a really big play down the middle, and that Gunner made some plays, and that Jonathan's running the way he is, but then Cedric came in and did his thing, and then Jaden Blue came in at the end and did his thing, and then A.D. Mitchell had some big plays early on, and so the ball's getting spread around. Next week, I don't know who will end up being what you want to call the featured guy. What I do know is we have a guy or two on our team, Xavier most notably, garners a lot of attention, and when that happens, the other guys got to make those plays, right? And the quarterback's got to find those guys predicated off the coverage. And I think that we're doing that well. And hopefully that's what I was hoping coming into the season, that we were going to have an array of players and an arsenal to where if you really want to take number one out of the game, these other guys can hurt you. And I think that's shown up, especially in our 2 road games. I go back to Alabama in the fourth quarter when AD makes 2 big plays, Jatavian makes 2 big plays there. So if you want to double him, these other guys hopefully can hurt you and can continue to hurt teams down the road.
Hey, Coach, obviously in these first couple of games, it's been slow starts at times for the offense, but the defense has been able to really kind of keep you in games in a different way this year. What do you kind of attribute that transformation on defense to where they kind of have that level?
Well, I think we're pretty good. It's been 3 years in the making of putting a staff together, putting a scheme together, making adjustments to that scheme from year 1 to year 2, now year 2 to year 3. I think we've added depth to that roster on the defensive side of the ball on all 3 levels, at the D line, at the linebacker, and then in the secondary. I think we have really good veteran leadership on defense from front to back. And then now what comes with that is confidence. Our offense and defense, we do a lot of good on good. And they have to defend us too every day in practice and throughout training camp. And there probably wasn't many days when I went into a press conference in training camp and I didn't say our defense had a really good day today, that our front had a really good day today. So they're pretty good, and I think we can be better. That's the beauty of it. We gave up a couple deep balls tonight that we knew was a point of emphasis, so we got to get that cleaned up. But I did love their resiliency, especially in the low red and getting those stops tonight.
2 last ones, Leah, then Anwar.
I think Baylor was within 5 yards of a touchdown 3 times tonight, and the red zone defense held them. What goes into building that and that kind of success that you saw tonight?
Yeah, one, I think there's some mental fortitude that goes into it, right? That, hey, just give us one more snap and let's keep them out of the end zone. And we do a thing called red zone lockout that our team on offense and defense takes a lot of pride in. It's a competition, goods on goods. And, when teams get down there, you can hear our players on the field saying red zone lockout. Like they just take practice right to the game. And I think there's a lot of trust in our defense that the calls are going to come in and they can execute it. And ultimately, we've been doing that all year, though. We've played really good red zone defense all year. I think tonight was another example of that, especially when you have a turnover. You muff a punt and they get the ball short field, and you can step up and play defense like that. That's a huge bonus for us.
Last one, Anwar.
Coach, I know you only a few minutes past Baylor,
Yeah, I love the challenge. That's why we play. I'm fired up to be back home. I know it's not a night game, but man, the last time we were in DKR, it was an awesome environment. So looking forward to seeing our fans. It should be electric. Saturday at 2:30. Kansas is a very good team. You know, really versatile offense. Jalen Daniels, heck of a quarterback. They've got a lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball, and we're going to need a good week of preparation to get ready to play that team.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Hey, guys, we'll bring a couple people to the front table, then we'll spread the other ones around the room after that.
So sorry.